When you hear the word hypnosis, what comes to mind? A swirling pocket watch? A stage performer making someone cluck like a chicken? Or perhaps a therapeutic tool for deep relaxation and change? Hypnosis has long been shrouded in mystery and misconception, but its true story is a fascinating journey that spans millennia, a quest to understand and harness the incredible, hidden power of the human mind. Today, we're diving into the history of this profound state of consciousness, tracing its evolution from ancient spiritual rituals to a respected modern science. Welcome to the history of hypnosis. The practice isn't new. Long before it had a name, altered states of consciousness were central to healing and spiritual practices across the ancient world. Look to ancient Egypt, where sleep temples were used for a form of therapeutic suggestion. Priests would interpret dreams and offer suggestions for healing while patients rested in a trance-like state. Similarly, Greek and Roman oracles, as well as indigenous shamans across the globe, employed rhythmic chanting, repetitive movements, and deep focus to induce a state of trance, a way to connect with the subconscious for insight and healing. These weren't hypnosis as we know it, but they were the earliest forms of induced trance, a recognition that the mind's focus could be deliberately shifted to influence the body. Now let's fast forward to the 18th century, and the man who put these practices back on the map, Franz Anton Mesmer. Mesmer, an Austrian physician, believed that illness was caused by an imbalance of an invisible natural force he called animal magnetism. He claimed he could restore this balance by passing his hands over a patient or using magnetized objects. His methods, which became known as mesmerism, were theatrical. He used dark rooms, soft music, and a communal magnetic tub called a bouquet, where patients would hold rods to absorb the magnetic fluid. People often went into fits or trances, and many claimed to be cured. Mesmer became an overnight sensation in Paris. However, the scientific community was skeptical. A royal commission, which included Benjamin Franklin, investigated Mesmer's work. They concluded that the effects were real, but they were not due to an invisible magnetic fluid. Instead, they attributed the cures to imagination and suggestion. Mesmer was discredited, but his practices, the induced trance, continued. It was a significant shift. The power wasn't in the magnet, it was in the mind of the patient. Our next key figure is Scottish surgeon James Braid. In the 1840s, Braid studied mesmerism, but rejected the animal magnetism theory entirely. Braid theorized that the trance state was a matter of focused attention, a condition of nervous sleep. He introduced the term we use today, hypnotism, taken from hypnos, the Greek god of sleep. Braid later regretted this choice, realizing the state was more about focused concentration than actual sleep, but the name stuck. Braid successfully used hypnosis for pain management and surgery, bringing it out of the realm of mysticism and into early medical science. His work was groundbreaking, shifting the understanding from a supernatural force to a psychological phenomenon based on suggestion and focused attention. The late 19th century saw a fascinating rivalry that cemented hypnosis's place in psychology. In Paris, neurologist Jean-Martin Charcot used hypnosis to study patients with hysteria. He believed hypnosis was an abnormal, pathological state, a symptom of the condition. But across France, in the city of Nancy, the Nancy School, led by figures like Hippolyte Bernheim, argued the opposite. They stated that hypnosis was a normal psychological process and that suggestibility, the ability to be influenced, was the only factor. This view is far closer to our modern understanding. The Nancy School's perspective ultimately prevailed, demonstrating that hypnosis was not a disease, but a way to bypass the critical factor of the conscious mind and access the power of suggestion. The next big name is one you might not expect: Sigmund Freud. Early in his career, Freud was deeply impressed by the therapeutic use of hypnosis, particularly for uncovering repressed memories. He used it extensively to treat his patients. However, Freud later abandoned the technique. He felt that the results were not lasting, and he preferred a more conversational approach where the patient actively recalled their memories. This shift led him to develop psychoanalysis, the talking cure, which eclipsed the popularity of hypnosis for decades. Although Freud turned away, the tools of hypnosis paved the way for many of his core ideas about the subconscious mind. Hypnosis saw a major resurgence during the World Wars. In field hospitals, it proved an invaluable, fast tool for treating shell shock, what we now call PTSD, and for performing emergency surgery when chemical anesthesia wasn't available or suitable. This practical application demonstrated its power beyond any doubt, leading to its formal recognition by major medical bodies. In the mid-20th century, both the British Medical Association, 1955, and the American Medical Association, 1958, officially recognized hypnosis as a legitimate therapeutic technique. Today, it is a respected modality used in pain management, anxiety relief, breaking bad habits, and even in dentistry. The history of hypnosis is a testament to the persistent search for inner healing, a journey from ancient temples to the modern therapist's office. It survived Mesmer's showmanship, Freud's rejection, and decades of skepticism to emerge as a scientifically validated tool. The core lesson remains what the French Commission found centuries ago. The power of hypnosis is not an external, mystical force. It's the power of focused attention, suggestion, and the incredible, untapped potential of your own mind. The mystery has been solved, but the power is yours to explore.